Welcome to Beyond Tradition.
Today's a day.
Today's the day. We're going to talk about, our podcast is based on the nitty gritty subjects, the uncomfortable subjects that a lot of people kind of gloss over. And we really dive into all of it and
Yeah,
give
the
our
uncomfortable topics. Yeah.
the stuff that's hard to talk about.
Yep.
This is Therese.
I'm freezing. Hi.
She's freezing. I'm sweating. This is how this works.
Relationship works. There's always one
Yes.
cold one and one warm one.
Of course.
She won't let me snuggle,
Oh
so
my God,
I'm
no.
dying
Get off of
slowly.
me. So let's see. Again, I will encourage you, if this is your first episode, start from the beginning where you get to know us a little
Yes.
bit more. You
For real.
understand where our history,
Mhm.
what we do, who we are. This episode's just a fun episode.
Yeah.
Back episode. That's why she got to snuggle in her blankie. For those not watching or
Yes.
not, I'm just gonna stop talking. If you're listening to this and you're not watching it, you would miss the fact that she was just covered up in
I'm probably
our
going to do it again.
safety blankies.
I am.
These are-
It's more of a freezing blankie for me
For
at this
me-
point because I am.
It's a calming thing.
Yeah, you
I
can just
love
keep
sitting with the
just wander-
blankie.
Yeah, hey, that's fine.
It's one of my things.
Go Bolts.
I don't know. Boomer. That's all I got.
She goes, because I like to drag Shelby to sporting events with me. Apparently, it's my activity that I like to do for fun. And
That's okay.
if you go check out my personal Instagram, it's the only thing on there is
Right.
me at sporting events with friends,
Right.
which is something.
I love
But-
it. I'll go. I like
No, I
going for
know.
the experience.
Yeah.
I just don't have any allegiances outside of
I mean, I don't. Tampa.
Sooners.
I mean, Tampa, because Tampa,
Right.
we're here, the Rays and
Right.
the Bolts, and then the Bucks.
yeah.
I'm
just
not
go.
a football fan, but I'll go if I need to.
Yeah, that's about it. Like I love football.
Boo.
I know.
I like baseball, hockey.
But I don't want to go to a football game if it's in the
It's too
heat.
hot.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
Raymond James, get with it. Can you enclose the stadium? We live in Florida.
on.
If they can enclose stadiums for snow, you can
And-
enclose a
right.
stadium for 110
Listen,
degree weather
We did the baseball game
at Tropicana, and it was
and there was AC and I loved it.
gorgeous. And I
Loved
knew you'd
it.
like. That's why I'll take you to a hockey game next because it's
Perfect.
freezing. I will be
Yes.
bundled up. You'll be in a t-shirt.
I will be having the best time and not sweating.
Oh my goodness, too funny.
But this episode's just gonna kind of be, I won't say a fun episode.
More like a business side of things and a
Mhm.
little bit of a different topic. Not
Yeah.
topic. I mean, it all goes together, but
Yeah.
this one.
Whereas before we kind of really focus on financial literacy and
Yeah.
talking with our spouse, our partner, business partner, whatever that looks like in your situation. This is more like business, I would say. The topic of employees,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Maybe
Employee
not the
management.
financial aspect. I mean, it can be tied in with payroll and all the stuff. You
Right.
know what I mean? But this one is more of the topic. Yeah, of employees. And
Yeah.
employee management and how we all want to rip our hair out. And
So much fun with the employees.
yes,
That's
exactly.
a big transition.
It is. It
It's
is.
a big transition. It's hard to get used to. Hard
Yeah.
to
There's a lot of growing pains and
letting go of control. I know that was a big thing.
ooh, yeah. I help. I don't want to say I coach contractors through it, but I definitely help contractors relinquish that need for control because
They need
it's hard.
therapy.
Well, yeah, but it's hard because, like I'm sure like Trevor's he's in the field and
Yes.
he's the one actually doing the physical work,
Right.
putting the pipe together. And there's a quality when you
Yes.
own the business, there's a quality that you want in every
Yes.
service that you provide.
Right.
And so I think it's hard to, have someone else represent you and
Yeah.
holding them to that
that
standard.
quality standard.
Yeah, exactly. Is super,
Yeah.
super difficult.
And I will say there's
So.
there's a difference in every company. Some people are more quantity over quality.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
and
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
No,
'cause
that's fine. If
there
you're
are-
making money and you're satisfied with your reputation and what products
Yep.
you're putting out on the market or services, then good for
Right,
you.
Cool.
Get it.
I've
Yeah.
heard horror stories because now we've got a crew of 9 guys, but I have office staff too. So we're at a
Mhm.
total of like 11 employees now. But hiring guys from other companies around here, I just hear horror stories that I can't even imagine doing. But like one most recently came from another company. He had all of 3 to 4 months of experience plumbing, period. And they threw him in a truck by himself and had him installing water heaters. And now granted, he'd have somebody that he could call and kinda walk him through it, but it's just like, "What?" I can't even fathom that level of lack of quality, but that's what's out there nowadays,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, but there's, something to be said about quantity over quality. For us, that is one of our core values. That's one of its quality and excellence.
I think to be stable and to have, stable growth, you have
Mhm.
to focus on quality,
Yeah.
your quality of work,
There has to be.
for
And so
sure.
that but that has been the biggest struggle is imparting our quality standards and
Mhm.
what our expectations are, especially to plumbers that come in from other places that don't have that.
Yeah.
And they've learned in other places.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's really hard to break bad habits, especially
Yeah.
in the construction world because there's
Oh
egos
my
at play.
gosh,
I'll do
yeah.
it this way. I'll
Uh-huh.
do it this way. Well, we
Oh
want
my
it this
gosh,
way.
I don't miss having a construction company.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm-mm.
that's always fun. But that's
Mhm.
been the biggest thing, and that was something that I had to have the conversation with Trevor about so many times. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you can't be on your tools until you're 60. I mean, you can, but is that what you really want? Is to be on your tools until you're 60?
No, the goal is to him to be the GM or the general manager
Mhm.
and just have people
Right.
underneath him taking care of all of this. But you
Right.
have to train that person, and then you have to treat that person right so they stay with you and they
Mhm.
become a company person and they want to see your
Right.
business grow.
Right.
And it's definitely a balance system, and again, it goes back to planning and having
Mhm.
goals and setting budgets and figuring out,
Mhm.
is he willing to take a pay cut so you can pay somebody more to put them in his position,
Mhm.
and so it goes.
And for me, I'm a
Yeah.
very I'm a process person. So like
Yeah.
what is our process for training and what does that
Yeah,
look like
for
and how are
sure.
we doing it? Uh I will fully admit that's where we fall short as a company is our training program. A lot of
Which is
times,
understandable because it's hard because
yeah.
Trevor's not at the point where he could stop what he's doing to train them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now they're just gonna be in a van with one of your
Him.
experienced
Right.
guys,
Right.
either him or one of your others,
Mhm.
and then
Hope yeah.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
definitely difficult for sure.
It is. I will
Mhm.
say employee management, there's a level because again, I you have to lower your expectations too a little bit.
A lot of it.
A lot of bit,
It was
just
cute a
because
little bit.
a little bit, but
It's a
yeah.
lot of it.
Mm,
It's rare that someone oh man, I just hit the mic.
you won last round too,
I
I'm
know,
doing
I'm
so
winning
good,
all of the
but
rounds,
that's because
yeah.
mine's so high.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I'm just so cold.
Next
Yeah.
time.
Um, yes.
Yeah, lower the expectation. They're not going to want, I guess, or put the effort to work as hard or as much as you. When you find someone that does, good lord, pay them whatever they want.
Yes, give them a truck, give them
Keep
all
them.
the yeah, keep them around, give them days off when they want the days off,
Yeah.
make their life comfortable for them.
I will say too, that's something that we focus on in our business that
You do, you guys do a great job of taking care of your
and
employees.
that's a big,
100%.
to be honest, a back and forth, a sticking point, something that Trevor and I kind of
I've been there.
you've
I've
been
been
there,
there for it.
yeah,
Yes, I
where's
understand exactly where you're coming
and
from.
a lot
Yeah.
of that has to do though because I remember being an employee and being treated that way and being felt like you're being taken advantage of and so
Yeah.
I'm like, I never want to make other people feel that way.
Yes.
Um, and so that's my thing is, and I have to have these conversations with my mom. She's our office manager. I
Okay,
have to
yeah.
have these conversations with Trevor. It's like number one, you're expecting things out of them after we have not required that. There's lots of times where it's
Yes.
like, well,
Yeah.
we wish they would answer on the weekends. Well, we told them they've got weekends off.
Right. Right.
You
But
can't
you get
expect that.
again,
Right.
if you implement policies and procedures, which we've done with
We've
you, like
done.
you can put that in there that, hey,
Right.
like you're on call if there's an emergency,
Yes.
like
But again,
it's hard.
I know I advertise, and when I'm hiring, our
Yeah.
job specifically, we promote work-life balance. We prioritize
Yeah.
work-life balance. We say we are not on call. We don't work weekends. We don't work holidays. That's very, very rare for a
Yeah. For
plumbing
plumbing.
company.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, and I like being that niche type of plumbing contractor. And I lose sales because I'm
Yeah.
that niche type
Yeah.
of and I allow that. But part of me is like, I've got right now 3 service guys. It's really not fair for 3 service guys to be working weekends and, 50 hours a week. That's not what I wanna do to them. I don't
Right.
wanna burn them out. I don't want to
And
again, I know
there's
that's very rare
right. I mean,
as a
but
business owner.
you could always have it as you could hire on a service guy for just nights and
Could,
weekends.
for
You know what I
sure,
mean?
and
Like
I've thought
there's
about that.
options. There's definitely options
Mhm.
if you want to manage that. It's still there's
Yeah.
you're still managing it. You're still
Yes.
gonna have your office manager is gonna be working even then you need someone at night taking
Right.
call, so there's a lot of balance
For
that goes in. We
sure.
gotta weigh those pros and cons and
I
decide.
actually have thought about doing
But
that too, but I
mhm.
will say the other thing that we run into too is with the younger generations. Everybody likes to talk about how they don't want to work, they want all of this for nothing, this, that, and the other. A part of and what I've really noticed is that they just want to be treated like a human and not a number.
Yeah. Well, we grew up more of yeah,
Authoritarian.
where shut up, sit down, get to work,
Yes.
9 to 5,
Yes.
a half an
Stay
hour
late if you
break.
need to. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, like put your whole life into it. And I think it's good that parents are raising their kids a little bit different.
Yeah.
You still have to have a work ethic and you
For
still have to
sure.
be an upstanding person, you know what I
Yes.
mean, and do
Yeah.
what you're supposed to.
Mhm.
And so I think again, it's such a balance with all of it.
It really is.
It's an exhausting
It
balance,
is an
but
exhausting balance. Something that I've kind of I don't know, how do I say this? It's hard because I tend to mother them and I try not to
yeah.
in all aspects. But then
Yeah.
again, it's like I work with my guys. I give them advances if they need it. I have paid for car repairs
Mhm.
and let them pay me back. Like I um paid them for the hurricane shutdown.
Yeah.
But and that's kind of the thing is we're
But you keep
finding
them happy, and that's why
yes.
they put in 100% when they come to work every
Mhm.
day,
And
you
it's really
know?
great when I hear people I've got a employee now that came from another company, and he was like, "This is literally the best company that I've ever worked for."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's
That's
like,
awesome.
"It's truly because we care about
Yeah.
them, and we profit share, and they get quarterly
Yeah.
bonuses," and
Yeah.
I try my best, and it's like you have to walk that line again because I
Yeah.
can't do this without being profitable, but it's
Well,
we
yeah,
right,
exactly,
like, the
yes.
goal is to be
If we all
profitable.
wanna be happy and have this lifestyle, we all have to
Mhm.
work for it, and we have to
Yes,
make sure
but that's the key
the
too.
train's running, you know what I
And
mean? You gotta
yes,
keep the fire going,
and I
so
have had that
yeah.
conversation. We have breakfast meetings like every other week now, and I have had to have this conversation with them. It's like, listen, you're hourly, yes,
Yeah.
but you get these bonuses. These bonuses are based on our productivity year over year, quarter over quarter, this, that, and the other. But I don't work you on the weekends. I don't work you on call. You get holidays off. I close our business and take you fishing, take you on charters. We go to,
Yeah.
we do all of these things for you. Please do not treat me like an hourly, like somebody who's treating you like a number. Like you can go to one of those
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
milk the clock. We
Yeah,
all
for
know what
sure.
milking the clock
Mm,
looks like. We
yeah.
know how you're dragging ass just
Mhm.
to make the day go by and you only have to do your 4 calls.
Yeah.
Please don't treat me that way.
Yep.
Like when we're at work, we work. When we're
Yeah.
off, we're off.
Yeah.
But when you're working, work,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think that's asking too much. I
Move.
think that's
Yeah.
what every employer
Yeah.
wants.
Our
So,
thing is like move with purpose. Be as
yeah,
efficient as
for
possible.
sure. And wouldn't you want to be? I feel like when you have pride and you have, you
You
know,
hope.
yeah, you would want your work and you would
Mhm.
want, yeah, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. I know this
Well,
is,
I will say
yeah.
the other part of this too is you've got even the community mindset that you're paying for an hourly service person. Like they should be being, I should be billed $125 for each hour that you're here. And it's like, yeah, no, we're flat rate. We're flat rate
Yeah.
pricing. We're not hourly. We're not time and material.
Yeah.
Flat rate can burn us, but flat
Yeah.
rate also works well if our guys are moving efficiently. And what I've always tried to, this is sorry, tangent, we're on a tangent. But this is my big thing is like,
I love
yes,
tangents.
you can absolutely hire that plumber that takes 4 hours to install your water heater. Cool. And you're cool with paying the 12 or $1,400 because he's been there for 4 hours and he had to source that water heater.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But my guys get it done in an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that they're worth any less than that
No.
guy that just
Right.
took 4 hours to do it.
Right.
They've just been taught how to move efficiently and work efficiently and get it done.
Yeah.
Same or better quality, in and out of your house, you're not as convenienced, and you're literally hiring a service
Yeah.
and not just that plumber. So
Yeah. I gotcha.
that's a big thing. And it's really hard to get the customers to understand that. Well, you were only here for 2 hours. Why are you billing me this much? Do you want the 4 hour guy? Because I can send the 4
Yeah,
hour.
I can have him
right?
sit here. I can have him sit in your garage
Is
if
that
you
gonna make you
want.
feel better?
Yeah, that's fine. You're
I-
like, I can clean his truck while he's sitting here. I don't know what to say. Yeah. I think, yeah, I can't imagine that struggle with it.
Yeah.
Because I can see, but again, coming from a contractor background, for
Yeah.
me, if you got in and out that quickly, I would honestly probably pay you more.
Right.
If you like,
Get out
you
of
know
my
what,
face.
literally get out of my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's so awkward. You
Right.
know how, like
Mhm.
yeah. So, uh,
Mhm.
literally, I'm like when someone comes to fix something in the house, I'm like, do I need to stand with you? Like, do you need me here? Like, I'm so awkward. And
Mhm.
then I know they've got to feel weird being in people's houses.
Well, we
So
always joke that you're gonna get charged more if you stand over and watch.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't want to watch. I just am like, do you need me here? Like,
Right.
can I go sit? You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's so funny. But yeah, that's a big thing that's like uh fun times. Fun times trying to train your employees to move like that, right? And then
Yeah.
but that's been a big leap is getting that quality,
Yeah.
that efficiency, training them into all of that. And then, but what helped us tremendously too is once we did, like you've mentioned before in other episodes, there's lots of like growth. Um, it starts to happen, growing pains.
Growing
Yeah.
pains. Oh
And
yeah.
I do know when I started feeling it around 6 or 7, and I was like, we are out of control.
Yes.
And that's when the policy and procedure
Yeah.
handbook came into
Mhm.
play. And now we've got a
I
Google Drive. Again, I'm not going to do anything on paper. Sorry, Grandma, but like
That's fine. I did it all on paper because
yes.
for employees sometimes I find that I can keep focus like when we
If
did the
they're
company meeting or when I
yes.
do company meet I've done Loft and Plumbings, I've done a few other contractors around town
Mhm.
and I noticed that I can keep them more
With the
engaged
piece of paper.
with a piece of paper
Yeah.
than if I'm just clicking and I'm just
Uh-huh.
like blah 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 blah, you know,
Right,
and like
right.
they're zoning
Turn
out.
your page.
Yeah,
Ask a
exactly where I
question.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so or you know what I mean? So it seems to be a little bit better when they can
Mhm.
follow along, but I understand
Yeah.
wanting to stay away from it because it's so much. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
need 400 pieces of paper for everybody. They're all
Goodness.
the policies
And
and
then one thing
procedures.
changes and
Yeah.
reprint.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now that we're at the 10 and
Mhm.
11, I will say the next hire that we bring in, they're going to spend a half a day with me
Yeah.
and we're going through it.
That's perfect. That's what the goal was for
Right.
all of the policies and procedures I've implemented into companies. It's supposed to give you
Right.
an easy system. So when you do have
Yeah.
new hires, it's like, these are our expectations. These are our standards.
Yeah.
Sign, and you have to sign it. Sign
Yeah.
that you agree with all this. So then if they don't live up to them,
Right.
you can be like, you're not a fit for us.
Right.
You
And the other
know?
part of that is
Yeah.
I, again, love online everything. So in
Yeah.
our new hire paperwork, they do get a copy of it. They have to sign off on it.
Yeah.
And I share with the link where they can access it
Perfect.
24/7.
Do you use like DocuSign or one of those? Yeah.
DocuSign just
Yeah.
set up that template, but they don't read it. They just sign it. And
Of
so
course.
I've told my lead guys too, make sure they're reading that handbook when you're in the truck with you. Make sure they understand it.
They don't. You have to
They
sit them in
don't.
the office.
So
So yeah, you have to sit them down. You have
Mhm.
to stare at them as they're reading it. And then
Yes.
you know what I mean? Or
Uh-huh.
you read it to them.
Right.
Again, it's
I'm about to develop a quiz for
I
it.
only know this is why I've gone down like my consulting company. This is what we focus on.
Yes.
Because I've lived it with all the companies that I've started and
Uh-huh.
worked with or for.
Right.
And so it's one of those, it's easy to hand somebody a stack of papers, but 9 out of 10 times, none of them are reading it. It's like when your phone asks you for terms and conditions.
Yeah, right.
Who
Exactly.
has actually read through them? Because
Yeah.
if we did, none of us would actually click
Exactly.
to accept any of the stuff that our phone is
Right.
actually collecting from us. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, or if you valued privacy, you wouldn't have a cell phone.
Absolutely
So,
true.
But yeah, so I think it's one of those, you have to sit with them almost like an employee introduction, you know what
Uh-huh.
I mean, to the company and what you're expecting.
Yeah.
And
S
I feel like it makes it feel more personal, especially if the owner's
mm.
doing it,
Oh, yeah.
because then that person I feel like feels hurt. It's just not like
Yeah.
it's not just like the office manager. It's not just, a project
Mhm.
manager. It's not just somebody. It's like, oh my gosh, like the owner of the company is sitting with me.
Right, to make sure this
Yeah,
is
to go over
understood.
this. Like this is I need to do this. Where the
Mhm.
guys in the van, again, they're, eating
What are we talking
Doritos on
about?
their way to the job, and like you're like, and he doesn't want to be responsible. Your
Yeah.
driver doesn't want to be responsible. Like, hey, did you read that? He's gonna be
Right.
like, yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah, let me see.
So yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So what are
Mhm.
all of the resources you offer with your employee management and kind of what you're doing?
Right now, I've kind of developed, yeah, this little system where
Mhm.
I'll go into a company or online, because now it's across
Yeah.
everywhere.
Right?
Yeah, it's great. I'm getting hit up from all over the place, so it's
Which is
wonderful.
awesome.
Yeah, but it's basically a done for you policies and procedures, and then
Mhm.
I've created videos of me actually walking through the
Nice.
policies, and they're the basic ones. So if you wanted to like change certain things for your
Mhm.
company, then you could, you know what I mean? You could just edit that out, or you could say, hey, no, we're going to take this direction. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I
Plug and
have,
play.
yeah, plug and play. It's perfect. It's simple. And then I'll walk you through how to host the meeting, like what time of day you should do it, when you should do it.
Nice.
Yeah, like basically, I'll hold your hand through the whole thing so you
Yeah.
can get it up and running within your company.
Yeah. And I
So,
will say too, it was
yeah.
really robust. I've shared it with I kind of keep it close to my chest because I'm like, what are we doing with this? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not sharing this for free.
Basically, and I
Because it was
think
a lot of work. You and I
yeah,
spent months on it
yeah,
for us.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and so now that between you and, like, about a dozen other contractors that I've worked with, all in the same type of service,
Mm-hmm.
either plumbing, electrician, or some sort of construction,
Mm-hmm.
handyman, you know what I mean? Like, I kinda got the broad scope of what
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants
Mm-hmm.
within their company. I feel like I finally have a big enough pool where everybody's like,
Yeah,
and it's
covered.
crazy because it's like a lot of the stuff we went over, like one of the electricians, they didn't change much of anything. They're like, "No, this
Nice.
is perfect." You
Love
know what
it.
I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
it's crazy how, like, as owners,
Yeah.
we're all kind of thinking the same way.
Uh-huh.
It was just like some things were a little bit more specific per industry,
Oh,
but
that makes
that's, you know
sense.
what I mean? But for the
Yeah.
most part, I got everything covered. And that's why
Right.
now I can literally plug and play this
Yeah.
system.
And it's
So,
wonderful too. I did
yeah.
share it with one person and they were like, "You did this?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, I had help."
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but yes. They were like, "This is insane." And I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, it covers
Yeah.
all of our bases
Yeah. It
basically.
does.
And
It
I
does.
I did like because again, back to quality and expectations, I want all of my customers to get the same experience. Same product is what we call it,
Yeah.
right? And so we've got even the service technician guidelines where we're telling
That's
them
nice for
this is
sure.
where you're doing it.
Yeah.
Then we've got checklists in
Yep.
Service Titan where
Yeah.
this is what we're
Yep.
following up on. This
That's
is what we
perfect.
expect. So, but I will say you have to put it in a million places and we still don't get it right 24/7, but we're working on the accountability piece of all of
Well,
that.
yeah, and that's why, and then I have, after, I know you and I met a long time ago about it,
Mhm.
and so since then I've developed like a disciplinary action, like a bigger
Yes.
one than what you and I first went over,
Right,
you know what
right,
I mean? And then I've done a little bit of training of how to keep your employees accountable.
right,
But again, it comes back to the managers, and if you're a smaller company, then it's going to be you as the owner
right.
holding everybody accountable,
Yeah,
so which
right.
sucks because
It
like when you
does.
work, like, like your husband, like when you work in the trench with somebody all day, you don't want to be the disciplinary
Yeah.
either.
Unfortunately, though, as we grow, we're finding that, like, that's not optional,
It's not
and I
optional,
have to
unfortunately.
like, we're a younger company, and we've got young guys, we've got young leaders, and we had to have the conversation more recently and say, like, "No, you hold them accountable to our standards, and if they have a problem with it, I
Yeah.
need to know about it." But, like,
Yeah.
we had just one example, this is literally, like, working with employees and specifically in the trades.
Yeah.
But we had the conversation where we had done a new construction job, and unfortunately, moved in, trim out's done, they're in it. And we had to go back twice because of trash in the valves, trash in the lines, causing low water pressure. And what is that from? We didn't really determine what it was from, but
Yeah.
there's better ways to handle it. It could have just been like sand, it could have just been like dirt.
Yeah.
But that comes from when we're putting in our supply lines and throwing pecks in the sand. And so what
Yeah.
we've said is don't throw pecks in the sand. I cannot tell you. I think this was like 4 weeks ago, maybe 5 or 6 weeks
Yeah.
ago. We said stop throwing pecks in the sand. Keep it out. Don't throw it in the dirt, whatever.
Yeah.
But keep it out. And then we need to be flushing after our second rough. So we need to flush
Well,
everything out.
yeah.
Just double check. And so we don't
Mhm.
have to worry about this going forward. And I swear to you, we had the meeting, and literally a day or two later, our guys are throwing pecks in the dirt. And my brother saw it. And I was like, he goes, I
That's
don't
when you
know
just
what to
like, you're like,
do.
send me a video. And I would
Yeah.
have been like, and I'm coming. You're like, just send me a video
Right.
and I'll be like, I'll be there in 20 minutes,
Right.
or however far away
Right.
it was. And that's when you just have to show up
Yeah. Like,
and
why
start
is this
yelling.
in the dirt?
Yeah.
Right. I don't yell. Okay.
Not yell. You know
No.
what I mean?
Okay. But if we want to talk about that, I am quick to, I'm very responsive, very
Yeah.
quick to respond, and not typically like super angry, but I do know that when I get fired up, I am
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And I tend to I'm harder on them than I would like to be sometimes.
Not for something like that. You just had this conversation. You just had a
Yeah.
team meeting about it.
Right. Like, it's super
You know what I
frustrating.
mean? It's not
Yeah.
like it was just something that was mentioned 8 months ago we forgot
Right.
because we haven't
Yeah.
had
This
crap
is
in
2
our
days
minds.
before,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I
So
mean, that is
frustrating.
just one of those that's just I don't wanna call it blatant disrespect,
But it's blatant disrespect.
yeah, I
It's
mean
like, did you not listen? No, but it's so but I have caught myself as an owner
Yeah.
realizing that, I need to take a breath,
Yeah.
settle down, then have that conversation. That's been a
Yes.
big learning curve for me with
Yeah.
employees specifically, because I did I have to talk about one of my favorite employees. He ended up moving to California. He was our first service tech, and I love him. Um, but he had a mouth, a little bit of a lack of emotional maturity. He was on a job. We were on a job.
I can already see where this is going.
Oh, we were on
Tell
a
me.
job. Yeah. One of the condos, one of the taller with security guards.
Oh,
Right?
oh, fancy.
Yeah. So apparently there were words about where
Siesta?
he parked and what he did. Siesta or a longboat? I cannot
Okay.
remember.
Oh, it's probably longboat.
But it was one of those
Yeah.
buildings. The security guard was on his ass over something. I don't remember. But I know that he popped off, and I know that he called the security guard Paul Blart. And hilarious as that is, and while it was probably super accurate at the time, that
don't
cost us
talk-
that job.
Yeah, you can't talk to people
Now
that
we're
way.
not allowed on that property again because of that. And so I get that call from that general contractor
No
about it. They're
way.
like, you're not allowed back on this property because of how your tech acted with our security guard. And my tech was like, he started. I was like, be rad. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And that is not your name. And I remember he comes in, and I'm hanging up the phone with my general contractor. He's walking in, and it was on like Donkey Kong. I will tell you, I
Oh my
was,
gosh.
what the are you doing? Blah, blah. And so he and I had a great working relationship. And so he fired back and I fired back, and we eventually calmed down. But I should have handled it a little bit better, right? That was a lesson that I learned. Like, we need to take
Yeah.
a chill pill. Luckily, he and I had that, so we could do that and get over it. And there was no harm, no foul, no
Yeah.
resentment, no buildup of that afterwards. But
Mhm.
yeah, definitely should have said, go
Yeah.
home. I will talk to you about this in the morning.
Yeah, it's hard though when it's in the moment, especially when it costs you a job or it costs you money. Thank I have blessings, knock on wood. Thank God, none of my guys ever cost me a job.
I mean, it
Were
was
only asked to leave the project for the
okay.
rest of the day because
Fair.
things were getting too heated about
Yes.
how things should go, and then I guess the contractor to get us back just like held payment for a really long time.
Uh-huh.
Like a really like
Really
over 120 days. And
retaliatory.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like it was more like that type of thing
Mm-hmm.
than anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. My guys always did like mine just did the dumb mistakes,
Right.
like we were working for one of the municipalities, one of the cities here in town, and we were on the job site. And the county or the city inspector, his vehicle, he had a truck park. Yeah, you already know where this is going.
We've had so
Yeah.
many
Oh my gosh. And
arguments
I'm just like,
with inspectors.
no, but the worst part is it wasn't even with it. It was just dumb. Like my guy has a gooseneck on and he makes the turn. Why did he turn when you could just keep going straight?
We'll never know.
Why on these tight city roads?
Uh-huh.
And like literally took out the truck. Like the whole like and I like so I get the phone call and they're like, "Hey, like we have a problem." And I'm just like, "What's up, guys?" I'm like, I think I was in like Venice at the time,
Oh my
honestly, like
gosh.
going over like another project. And they're like, we got in
Well,
an accident." I was like, "What?" And I was like, is everybody okay?"
yes,
It's like, "Please don't tell me,
we're hurt,
yeah,
right?
you were hurt
Yeah.
or someone else hit a bus up in St. Pete." And I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Deep
So
breaths, deep
mine
breaths.
my employees were more so like just I don't want to say reckless because it's not
Uh-huh.
like they did anything on purpose,
Yeah.
but reckless in the
Yes.
sense of like burying excavators in the mud. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
getting dump trucks stuck, like doing like just like
Yes.
bonehead moves where you're just like, what possessed you to think you were going to even make this turn in the
Right.
first place?
Like what?
There was zero. When I looked, I was like, you weren't going to make this, even if this truck wasn't parked here, you were still going to jump a curb because there's
Right.
literally not enough room
For you
to
to widen
maneuver
that.
this
Right.
thing.
Right.
And yeah, so it's,
They're
yeah.
okay taking out curbs. I do know that.
Yeah.
We pull a trailer every day, so
Yeah.
that trailer is destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't miss it.
No.
Like being on the consulting side of
I do
things.
envy that you're on the consulting side and you're
Yeah.
like, this is how you handle it,
Yeah, I'm like,
lady.
this is basically
Right?
because I feel like, again, with enough experience, whatever, 17 years in construction, I
Uh-huh.
feel like I've seen
Yeah.
like mind-blowing things where I'm like, that's what you chose to do? I'm like, in that moment, this was your best solution to this. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay.
This is
I
what
was
we're
like,
doing,
this is
guys.
what we're doing. So
Yeah.
I think it's good that like
I
I
actually
can be relatable enough where it's like I've literally been in the field, in the trenches, holding a chute on the back of a concrete truck to
right.
being in a 10-foot,
Ditch. Yeah.
ditch, so trench. So it's one of those, it's
Yeah.
like, I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Definitely
feel
worth
like
it though.
all of my stuff hits all the points,
Right.
all the important points of things. Obviously, electricians and plumbers, or
Yeah.
you guys all have specific things
Mhm,
like
mhm.
ladder safety, or don't
Right.
lick the outlet for electric. So some of the
Don't
electricians that
work
I
in
work with.
Birkenstocks and socks.
Oh, okay, yeah. So also a part of my program or my package,
Mhm.
I've created safety videos. So that way, like, you don't even have to,
Great.
like, you can have, what is it, a toolbox meeting or
Uh-huh.
tailgate meeting. Just have them watch me go over safety something on an
Uh-huh.
iPad or on your phone, and
Love
then have
it.
them sign the sheet. So then if they do something
Yeah.
stupid,
Yeah.
and you could just be like, we just did
We
this.
talked about this,
Yeah.
sir.
And so I'm trying to take the
The back end.
the mundane
Yeah.
things that like
The little
contractors,
detailed stuff.
yeah, that
Yeah.
contractors don't want to deal with, and that you're
Mhm.
not even thinking about. You're not thinking about doing a safety
I'm
training
not.
every
No.
month.
Nope. Not
It's
every
not even
month.
on your mind,
Nope.
but you're supposed, like, you
Like
should.
should.
And
Best practice.
what I'm learning again as I've grown this baby is that the contractors that do those safety meetings, it's a 5 minutes, 10
Yeah.
minutes of it's literally, as they're loading up ice in their trucks in the morning or whatever,
Yes.
I've noticed it's holding that standard. It's keeping their employees accountable because they
Mhm.
remember, they're like, oh, I remember we just did that meeting
Yes.
and we signed all these papers. Wow, look, like they're following up
Yeah.
and they're staying on top of it, type
Yeah.
of thing.
Well, that just
So
reminded me of like a story where we had OSHA on the island. Everybody knew OSHA's on the island.
you just close. I'm just kidding.
No, but what
I'm
does
just
my guy
kidding.
do?
Don't-
I literally went to take pictures of the job that we're on, and I look,
Just have
and
a
my guy is
early afternoon.
literally hanging his feet off the side of the second or third story balcony, working on the water heater lines. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And
I would've been like,
he's one of our smarter
I would have
ones.
been like, you need to go home.
Yeah,
I
I
need you
needed
to think about.
I wish he's the one that drives the truck.
Oh my gosh, I would have been like, "All
What are
right."
you doing? I
Yeah.
actually even told on him and sent a picture to his girlfriend and was like, "Will you deal with this? Because I why? What are you doing?" But yeah, it's
But
stuff like that all the time.
it
He
gets
goes,
lax
"I do
and
this all the time. I don't
yeah.
care. We just told you ocean's on the island. You don't do this
Yeah.
all the time. You get a ladder, you get a strap. Like, come
And
on."
it's one of those and just for safety for yourself too. But
Yeah.
again, unfortunately, all it takes one person to get hurt for everybody else to feel that pain.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, like I've noticed like once something actually happens, like
Yes.
one of my guys, again, was a different gooseneck, but
Mhm.
when you put like it has the stabilizers in the
Yeah.
front or the legs you put
Right.
down. Well, he went once it was attached to the truck. Yeah, he went to go lift it up, like, and he just pulled it, and I guess it wasn't all the way on the truck, like,
Yep, yep,
perfectly,
yep,
so
yep.
it snapped up at him, and it, like, ripped off, like, the tips of his, like, fingers,
Oh
and he had to go to the
god.
it was gnarly, you know what I mean?
Well, I
But
mean, my
it's
first
just one of those, though, but it's like you have to
pay
just you
attention.
have to 1, you have to pay attention. I've seen guys get, like, whipped with chains, and
Oh,
and then we've had just unfortunate things happen. I mean, we were laying 72-inch pipe. It was triple barrel run, so 3 of
yep.
them of 72-inch pipe, and
Right.
so we're using, a crane to put this stuff in
Yeah.
or big excavators, and we get it in the ground or we're getting it on the ground, and right before it hits the ground, the strap broke. And so thank God, like the hook of the strap flew and like sliced up one of the guy's arms. He wasn't even like close to it. He was like 30 feet away from it.
Oh
But
my
again,
god.
shit
That's
shit
heavy. Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
When you're doing heavy construction, this
Yeah.
type of stuff can happen,
Right.
and you just, it's
Well, it's
what
just like
workers
my
comp is
brother.
for. I got him to the hospital. Like I met him at
Yeah.
the clinic, like made sure
Same.
everything was good to
Like
go. You
when
know what
my
I mean?
brother's digging
Yeah.
around
Hmm.
new construction commercial and it's the steel um beams. Not beams, but the
Oh,
steel framing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Almost sliced his knuckle off
Oh, Lord.
and had to
Yeah.
have surgery and all of that.
Mm,
So, and that was just working a shovel
ugh.
in a ditch
Yeah.
in the inside and
Yeah.
he just swung too
Oh,
wide
God.
and popped that and that thing just sliced.
Gross. Yep.
So
I
disgusting.
can't handle any of it. Like, I'm at the clinic, they're just, like, bleeding all over, and I'm just like, "I can't
Yeah.
do
No, I'm
this."
like, I can't look.
I'm like, "He's bleeding." It's
Oh,
like, "You need to take
you
him."
could see.
Yeah,
Oh,
mhm. Yep, my guy, when he got his yeah.
mm,
So,
awful.
again but, like, again, I think the safety videos come into play, and it's just
Yeah.
that kind of like that reminder of, like, just pay attention,
Yes.
you know?
Bad stuff
And
happens.
then I always tell my guys, "If you need a moment, take a moment."
Mhm.
Like, one of my guys, I remember he loaded up, he had the trailer ready to go, low boys loaded up, he's got the equipment on it and everything, and he just went and, like, sat, like, on the trailer for a second.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You good?" And he goes, he's like, "No." And I'm like, "All right, take." I'm like, "You're
Right.
driving a monster.
Right.
Like, this could wreck you
Yes.
and it will wreck everything around
Right,
you. If
right.
you go out of control, if you are not
Yeah.
fully paying attention, this is catastrophic.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
Like it's not a so I'm always like I was always slow down, take your time. I'm
Right.
not putting a time
Make sure
limit
it's
on it.
chained.
Yeah, yeah, the proper way, make sure everything's safe, check all your tires, you know what
Right.
I mean? Like we don't need to blow out on the interstate. So,
That's so
yeah,
scary.
I don't miss it.
Nah. Yeah.
I don't miss
I
I just got
know.
chills from it. I don't miss it at all.
Right?
That's what used to keep me up at night,
Oh, for
like that
sure.
type of stuff where
Yeah.
just like waiting to hear something scary
Oh my
happening
gosh,
or
yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah, those were the times that, yeah, I don't miss any of that.
Yeah. They don't tell you. Or I mean, like you obviously know that's part of it, but like that is really something that you'll never get used to is getting that call. Like, hey,
No.
because Trev's almost sliced his finger off once. And
Oh
I know that he
God.
called me. He's like, I'm freaking out right now because there's so much blood. I think I almost cut my finger off. And I was like, okay,
You're like, who's around you? Sit down.
calm down.
Yeah.
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 But that was
Sit
when he
down.
was by himself. So he
Oh
was
Lord.
strict.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times. So,
No, 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 no. So
yeah.
again, growing pains, but it's all of those things. But again,
Hmm.
going back to policies and procedures, it's nice to
Yeah.
have something in place. And
Yep.
usually I'm finding again, everyone I've worked with is usually getting to that growing
Uh-huh.
pains, about 7, 8 employees. If you don't have something already established, just most
It's
people
about time.
don't
Right.
because when you start, 1, you're excited.
Yeah.
2, you're like, yay, it's us.
Right.
And then when you hire your first employee, you're like, yay, we have a team. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, you're not thinking about this because you are one-on-one.
Right.
Trevor was one-on-one with all of these guys.
Yes. Yes.
And now he can't be because there's so many. And that's when everything it can go sideways if you don't have some sort of management or system in place to keep everybody on task and on time and held accountable. So
on the same path.
Yes, exactly. Like everything we've talked about, it's about
Honestly.
communication.
Yes.
It's about being on a path. It's about, you know what I mean? Focusing on the end goal and, staying flexible.
Yeah.
Those are our words.
Those are
our words.
Future financial self.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I'm waiting for my t-shirt to come in.
I'm gonna make one.
All right. I'm waiting for it.
Awesome.
That's all we're going to wear.
Yeah. Future financial self.
Yeah. Future financial. That's why we changed the name of everything.
Awesome.
All right. I think we're good for today. This was a fun episode. Again,
Yeah.
sorry we didn't talk about the nitty gritty of the finance part, but your employees are the ones making you money. So it is a financial part. And yeah.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Open communication. So as always, like, subscribe, follow us on all the goods. We are on everything.
Come fight me in the comments if you want.
I will not be participating in that. I'm just going to give both of you a thumbs up and I'm not going to take a side. Or I'm just going to give you both a thumbs down and a sad face and just be like, why are we doing this? Peace, people, peace.
Yep.
And so, reach out to us again. We'd love to hear from you.
Yep. We have resources available for you.
Yeah, we have lots of resources. Check out, again, our books, our companies, our programs, our courses, everything is here for you to check out. So definitely find us on Instagram for sure. And we will see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.